Hey Gemini, we are here to do your 2025 year ahead view and dive in with some oracle cards, some tarot, and some channeled messages to see how things are going to roll out for you as the year progresses. And we're going to dive right into it. This is for any significant Gemini placement if you have a prominent placement in the third house, or if you're a Sagittarius rising, that makes you a Gemini descendant. So let's start out with first getting sort of like a baseline energy. I'm working with the Sacred Rebels Oracle intermingled with the Halloween Oracle here to get a clear view about your overarching theme for the year, how things are going to be sort of focused for you in the year ahead. We'll also look at what you left behind in 2024. Hopefully nothing's sort of trailing behind you, but we'll find out about that. And then we're also going to unlock your North Node potential. All right, so let's start it out right now and see what we got coming in here for you. I like this. Okay, good, positive, clean slate energy for you as far as what you're leaving behind in the South Node there that you left behind in 2024. I feel like whatever was weighing you down, whatever was blocking your vision, whatever was preventing growth in your life or keeping you in a place where you felt like you had to make yourself small or kind of hold yourself back in the shadows, you gave that a firm boot to the arse and you moved forward so you could step into the light, build new community here, make new connections, and embrace all of the inspiration that has started to flood in for you. I feel like you already have inspiration coming in. There's something lit up for you here in your consciousness. You have an idea about where you want to direct your energy in the year ahead. And I do feel like you're going to come into alignment with the right people that will help facilitate these grand plans you have. It looks like really positive energy just opening up here. So that's excellent. I mean, it looks like you cleared the deck, so you're already off to a good start. Let's see what your overarching theme is for 2025. What is the general atmosphere around you in 2025 that will sort of hone your focus for this year ahead, Gemini? What is your overarching theme here? It seems like you're working on something that's got you kind of lit up here. I think you're going to have more visibility as well in 2025, all right? So where you may have felt like, maybe you weren't getting recognition for your work or you weren't getting recognition in a certain group of people, a community of people. I do feel like there's something that's sort of putting a spotlight on you, and it's good. It's positive energy here. It's coming in with big emperor energy right off the bat. Whoa, we got a lot coming in here. Okay, a lot. This is pretty wild. Okay, we'll look at all of it. We'll look at all of it. Looks like you got a lot of stuff on deck for 2025. First of all, you have infinite possibilities. I do feel with the full moon that's coming up in Cancer on the 11th, just around the corner here, coming up on Monday, you will have something really come into view. Might have its roots in the past. There might have been something that was at one point sort of tabled in the past that now comes back into view, or somebody from the past comes back around and makes a certain vision possible. I feel like whatever this is, though, it's got you really lit up and you have infinite possibilities for moving forward. I do feel like the jump off point is that full moon we got right around the corner here. So something's getting lit up for you. What does this have to do with? We got a lot here, okay? Whatever this is, it does allow you the opportunity to lay a particular ghost to rest that has been the ghost of regret for you. I do feel like you're tabling that, okay, where you've had regret. You're transforming something here. You may be recovering a lost opportunity. It may have been something that, took you to a heavy place before, but I do feel like you've been through some kind of transformation here. A transformation that's made you a lot more daring about what you're willing to try, how you're willing to put yourself out there. You don't want to live in a small space anymore. I really got that. You want so much more for your life. And you're just going to go for the things that really set you on fire here. And yeah, they may imply a little bit of risk, but it's better to risk and have potential reward than to kick yourself with regret down the line. I think that's the lesson you really learned in 2024. So this looks really good. I also feel like there's something here that is coming through you, and it's really rooting you with something that will bring a lot of growth and prosperity and blessing. And it's enduring here. It does feel like it's connected to your roots. So there may be an ancestral link here. There may be something here that also really benefits your family as a whole. There might be something that is being activated in you at this time that was made possible perhaps through a legacy, through something that was left behind for you, through a loved one. You may have had a loved one who passed on over the past year, and they left you something that gives you a real foundation for your future. And I think that you have a lot of love and a lot of gratitude towards your loved one, if that's the case, because you really want to put this opportunity to good use. I feel like for you, this is like, it feels like an opportunity to start again where you didn't have that before. For others of you, you've been finding a lot of strength through tapping your roots, maybe through going deep down into the roots of just your family history, where you come from, and you really want to get back to that because there's some sense of strength there. Some of you may be moving back to a place where you grew up when you were younger. This just kind of coming in here. You may be transplants, living in a different area now. You want to return to your roots. I do feel if you do that, it'll be like a fresh start, and it's something that will feel really stabilizing for you. May even allow you to feel more connected to family. You're missing that. You're wanting to feel more connected to maybe to some people that you've had some distance from. So I see this energy kind of coming in. And I do feel like you have been in a process of kind of integrating some heavy stuff, but now you're getting to the juicy stuff that's on the other side of that. And yes, you did have to kind of pause to integrate some experiences, but you're at the point right now where you're about to begin again. You may have even opened up the year at a little bit of a slower pace than you normally would have in the past. You weren't all gung-ho. You just needed some time to sort of like close out the energy of last year. But I do feel like now you're ready to get started again in a new direction, it feels. And I do think you have a lot of protection around you. Whatever you're doing here, it is very different from what you were doing last year. 7:44 on the clock when I brought that in. So I do feel like this is the opening of a very lucky cycle for you. It does feel it's a little blessed up. It brings some kind of stability into your life. And I do feel like there's a lot of support for this just from the spiritual realm. I think you're going to find a lot of synchronicity coming in. You're going to be lining up with the right people, places, things. And you'll really feel like as you're moving forward, the more you take risks, the more you really feel like you're covered, You really feel like you got certain support in place that maybe wasn't there before. So this is very positive energy here. I do think you had to look at some stuff that was a little heavy for you. For some of you, this could have been around a Sagittarius. They are connected with the owl on the medicine wheel. You also could be a Sagittarius rising. This could be coming in pretty strongly for you. But I feel like you saw through some kind of deception in the past. Once you were able to see through that, you knew the way you needed to move forward. And this allows you to move into greater expansion this year. There's some kind of wise scene, wise action that's playing a major role in how things roll out here. And yes, I do feel like your home life is going to be a real source of happiness for you. I think you're going to be feeling very full in your heart, like you finally have landed in that place where you belong, that place that feels like home to you. I also feel like you have warding around the home. If the home life has felt, under attack in some way or destabilized last year, I don't think that's going to be the case this year. And again, some of you may be making a major move. Somewhere where you really feel like more supported. That's what I got. You're just wanting a more supportive home environment. And this could be because you were dealing with a little bit of mischief on the home front. You could have been dealing with a difficult character here who is sort of interfering in your home life, draining your energy, and you had to exercise some emotional intelligence about who's allowed into your sort of inner sanctum and who needs to go. I do feel like you made some cuts here. You got rid of some particular characters who maybe were causing some regrets for you. It could have been a little bit of that devilish, deceptive energy here. And I do feel like whatever this was, it was very draining, you know, but I think something might have come through for you back at the harvest moon in 2024. That came in on September 17th. It was in the sign of Pisces. This could have been like a hidden element that was revealed to you about a particular character, and you realized, you know what? I think this is the problem. So you dealt with that effectively. You cut that off, and then I think it really established more stability for you. So I do feel like where you had any kind of upheavals or things just weren't feeling right at home, maybe because of interference from one character in particular, I feel like you're settling that matter and you're getting home back to a place where it feels good, you know? There's warmth in the home again. You feel like you're at peace in your home again. And for some of you, there's a major move involved with this, okay? So a lot up ahead. Some of this, you know, may still be kind of like getting ironed out a little bit here, but I do feel like, you know, you got so much possibility before you. And there's a really significant cycle that's kicking off with this full moon that's coming in. Okay, let's check out what your North Node potential is. We're going to just do a simple cut of the deck to get this. Yes, I mean, you may need to kind of work on communicating with somebody, maybe somebody that you feel judged you harshly, or they may feel you judge them harshly. It can be mirroring energy in relationships, but I do feel like there's been some kind of new insight that's come forward here. You've had some kind of spiritual growth that's really got you looking at situations in a new way. I feel like you're operating from a place of compassion here in your communication. I do feel like you're sharing some words with someone special, and you feel like you need to do this just for things to feel right with you. This is softly, softly, the tender touch when it comes to communication. There may have been words that were spoken that you wish you could take back. And I do feel like in that case, you're addressing these matters, and there's some kind of healing coming through communication. Number 20 there makes me think of judgment. So this could be in relation to a past connection that's kind of coming back around to kind of iron things out. This could be a South Node matter that is still needing to be addressed. This could also be in relation to a Libra. And yes, I do see there's some forgiveness coming in here. You don't want to hold on to this anymore. You're letting it go. You realize it's only weighing you down, and it's preventing all the good stuff from pouring into you. So I do feel like you're getting rid of the thorns. You're recovering the sweetness of the bloom here, and this is good. So there's some kind of forgiveness, healing, and some positive communication coming in here that's very important and significant for your future. So this relationship factors in very strongly for you, okay? And it could be around, you know, something that happened. Somebody was brought into the mix who was a little bit problematic that caused difficulties between you and this person. So I do see you ironing it out. And that's a real positive energy coming in here. It looks like this is an important part of your destiny. Like you're not meant to cast this particular relationship, this connection aside. So looks like some healing work coming in. That's very good energy, all right? Looks good. There's so much potential possibility coming in for you. Now we're going to look at the hand of fate, which you will be dealt in 2025. This is the rough stuff. 1414 on the clock again. Temperance energy coming in there. This could be something that is sort of like needing to be ironed out with the Sagittarius that came in before. I do feel maybe something fated went down with the Sagittarius. Maybe there's something that needs to be addressed there. We're looking at the difficult stuff right out the gate because, you know, life's not all sunshine, lemon drops, and daisies. There are challenges that we have to move through, and it's better if we kind of have a view of what the potential snags are up ahead, then we can face them more consciously. So with this, we're looking at your challengers and what kind of reversals you may face and how to deal with those situations. So yes, I do see there's something that needs to be balanced out here karmically. A little bit of karmic law exercising here. Something does need to be laid to rest. It needs to be brought to an end. It's something you were investing in at one time. Whatever this was, you really felt like it robbed you of your dignity in some way. And I do feel like you laying this to rest allows you to sort of restore that for yourself, okay? By you pulling your energy back from whatever was making you feel disrespected here, it allows you to really recover your sense of self here and put yourself in a much stronger position. It also frees up your energy for you to invest in things that are more worthwhile pursuits here, okay? So let's see what your fate is. What is the hand that Gemini will be dealt in 2025, Spirit? What is the hand that Gemini will be dealt in 2025, Spirit? What is the hand that Gemini will be dealt in 2025, Spirit? What is the hand that Gemini will be dealt in 2025, Spirit? Check it out. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we got a Queen of Pentacles factoring strongly in this situation. This could be somebody who is a bit of an alchemist that you were dealing with. It could have been a bit challenging for you, okay? There's some earth sign energy on the board here, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is somebody that also made a lot of big promises, okay? They might make some big promises. They might offer up the world on a silver platter, so to speak. All right, this could be a potential challenger, though. It is coming up under the hand of fate. So I feel like there's some matter that needs to be addressed here with this particular character. This could also be somebody who's a challenger in the realm of business. You know, it's something coming up in the realm of the material reality, okay? So just for that to come in before about the home life, this could have been somebody that created some kind of disruption in the home life, all right? With that, we got cards flying out, okay? So it does look like we got a Queen of Pentacles here that could be a bit challenging for you. Yeah, this is somebody who's potentially a high priestess and may have caused some kind of like, if you had a serious relationship or there was somebody you were partnering with in business. So I could see this both romantically, like a live-in relationship, and there being somebody kind of coming in the middle that sort of roused suspicion between you and your person there. This could also be in business, you know, somebody you were partnering with in business and they created some kind of dissension there. I do feel like whoever this Queen of Pentacles was, they sort of came in between you and another and stirred something up where you started to have a little bit of suspicion about somebody you would normally be really in alignment with here, okay? They may have told you a lot of secret things, you know? They may have revealed things to you that somebody had shared with them in confidence, and this sort of like slanted your view of that person. I mean, I think that that was the end goal, was to sort of like create division here between you and another. They wanted you to see their sort of take on things, their view of the world here. High Priestess energies, any water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, real strong Cancer though. Let's see here. Yeah, there was some kind of loss that was created as a result of this with the Wheel of Fortune. So you do need to be aware of this because I feel like this character is still active. They are still active. This is a hidden danger, okay? When this is upright, it's one of those things where it's like you're already aware of the potential for a problem here. But since it's in reverse, you're not aware of the loss this person can cause for you. And maybe even on a material level. So this is something you do need to be aware of here. And with that, we have the Three of Pentacles. So this very much could be in relation to your work. Kind of got like that Sagittarian energy there. Also, when I think of horse energy, it's about power. It's about movement. Okay. So this is somebody that could really keep you from moving forward. Also could really drain you of a position of power or a position of status. So I would be careful about partnering with somebody on a business level here, because this person comes off like a friend, but they're actually somebody who could undermine you. All right. And they're very gabby. I mean, they give you a lot of answers to your questions, and they seem to know all the inside information. But, you know, anytime you got somebody coming towards you that's telling you a bunch of stuff that was shared with them in confidence, immediately it should sort of like raise your hackles. Gossip energy is not good energy. This is a game this person plays, you know. They suss out information from people, and then they use that information to their advantage. So there's an objective here. This could really inhibit your growth. I feel like, especially around your work or your status in some way. So you do want to be very mindful of this influence, like a third party influence. Again, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, that is Sagittarius. So this could be a Sagittarius you're dealing with here. It's a little challenging. That energy's been coming up a few times, right? Interesting. Let me do a cut of the deck on that. See what we got here. Three of Swords. Yeah, I mean, there's somebody here who's a bit of a vulture, and they see something you're coming into alignment with here. They see some kind of growth that's, you know, on track for you here. This is your destiny that you're heading toward, but there's somebody here who wants to kind of cut you off at the pass. There's something that will really hurt you. I feel like if you allow this character to have too much reign here, if you let them into whatever this is you're working on, I do feel like they're just on the take for what they can get out of it. It won't necessarily work out for you. It says here, steals treasures from kings, destroys cities and the dignities of men. And yes, they have a lot to say. They got answers about the past, the present, the future. But this person comes off like, you know, it's all love, man. But this person is all about for themselves. Okay. So you do need to be aware that there's some potential for disappointment here with this character. And that's a big yes on that with the Hierophant. So Taurus energy coming in too. This person could have a strong Sagittarius and Taurus placement in their chart, or either or, right? And there's this thing, again, it's like they come off as a friend, but they're actually a foe. It's been referred to several times here. Like, this person has their own objectives, and they will get you caught up. They will get you caught up, right? And there's something about like your dignity, like your self-respect. This person will make you sort of feel like taken down a notch or something like that, or that could be their objective here. So just, you know, be aware of this energy, right? It's not the best energy. Do be aware of experiencing some kind of financial loss in your work, loss in your advancement toward your objectives here, how that could affect you with people you would like to work with. Okay, just be mindful. This person like runs off at the mouth, right? They like to talk a lot, and they like to spill secrets, right? Things that are shared in confidence. They go and run tell everybody, you know, your business, and that's something that's, you know, it's not going to work for you here. All right. Now we're looking at your fortune, your luck, and your allies. And I like this because we open up real strong bottom of the deck energy. You do have the 10 of Cups here. So you're really hoping to have a happier ending, you know, in a particular saga in your life with this year. That's what you got your sights set on. And I do feel like you're ultimately going to be successful with that. Whoever's, you know, causing problems for you, you're going to be able to overcome that. It does say brings victory and peace. We've already had an indication with that, with your sort of overarching themes coming in here. So again, you know, where there was some kind of disruption within a particular social circle or within your family or with somebody you shared home with, I do feel like that's being resolved. It's like things are getting stabilized on the home front and it feels good. There is a way to bring about harmony in this situation, but to me, it really feels like you have to be mindful of who you let into your inner space here. And certainly your home applies, okay? So let's see what your luck is in 2025, Gemini. What allies do you have working on your behalf in 2025, Gemini? Okay, so here's the thing. It's interesting because you sort of are feeling like you're not in as strong of a position as you used to be with strength in reverse here. You may even feel like there's certain people you used to really be able to turn to for support, certain friends, and you feel like they really let you down and kind of bailed out on you. But this is a false perception here. You do have people who really do support you. You have people who want to see you succeed. And I do feel like the help is available, you know, if you just allow it in. But I feel like right now you're a little bit closed off around this. So it's important that you sort of let down your guard a little bit. I know you may have dealt with some difficult stuff here, but there are people that are loyal to you and they do want to help you out. They want to assist you with something here, helping you overcome a particular challenge, but they can't do it if you won't let them in, okay? So maybe let down the guards a little bit. There could have been a Leo that was particularly challenging or somebody from the past that was very challenging for you in this regard, okay? There may be a Leo who needs your support, needs your help. They're feeling like they're in kind of a weaker position and they need you to kind of be by their side or to encourage them. Okay, so do keep that in mind. All right. Yeah, there's something that happened here that just felt a little shady with the Seven of Swords, but I do feel like there's a way to turn that matter around. Nobody has to be a pawn here. I do feel like this is the year that you're going to have your checkmate moment, and there's like some moment of victory that you felt like eluded you, or where you feel like you got to finally like have justice in a situation that eluded you in 2024 that will come back around the bend here. I also feel like, you know, you've been angry about this situation and rightfully so. Like your anger is justified. There is something that happened here that wasn't right. Somebody pulled some really sneaky shies here and you're not really like making space for people's excuses. People are old enough to know right from wrong, you know, and I think you're finally not letting yourself be in a position where you kind of make excuses for people either. I feel doing so will be lucky for you, you know, to really just take that stand and be like, look, you know, you're not a child. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. And I'm not going to allow you to just kind of like keep getting by with behaving like this. And this is a good move on your part, I have to say, because you're going to have a whole new view in 2025. And you're the one who's deciding what that view is going to look like. You're taking everybody else's opinions out of it. And you're really looking at, what do I want to bring into my life? Maybe you've been putting other people before you for too long. And this is your opportunity to really think about what works for you. What are you wanting to bring in here? You're operating from a place of love. You have a lot of wisdom on, you know, your behalf, moving into your next chapter of your life here. You learned a lot from the experiences you went through. 29 on the clock, that's 11 energy. So I really feel like this is a year of alignment for you. But whereas in the past, it was more about you trying to come into alignment with what others wanted, this is about you really being in alignment with yourself and knowing what's right for you and having the courage to just go for it, man. And I do feel where you have opposition, you have everything you need to overcome it. Like your way is not going to be blocked. So this is very positive. And I like this. Okay, so we do have Queen of Swords here. And it looks like there's some kind of reward coming through here, potentially with a Queen of Swords. So that's your energy right there. You could also be dealing with another air sign, Gemini or Aquarius, or even potentially a another Gemini like yourself. Did I already say that? Gemini, Aquarius. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I do feel like there's some South Node matter that's effectively resolved, like something's been transformed. You're not going through another karmic cycle here, so this is excellent, okay? And you kind of cutting off the nonsense and transforming a particular situation, maybe with a relationship that's significant to you, allows you to come into alignment with all kinds of progress. I feel like, especially materially and spiritually, there's like some kind of spiritual transformation and growth that's coming through here for you. Okay, so that looks really good. Let's do a cut of the deck. And since this is your allies, other air signs may be good allies for you. Okay, so Geminis like yourself, Libras, and Aquarius can be helpful for finding a way through some challenging situations, I feel, right? Kind of the deck energy. We have the Seven of Swords on that side, and we have the Ace of Swords. You see what I mean? It's like somebody tried to play you as a pawn in the past, and you may have felt like they had the upper hand. I just feel like your victory's been delayed here. There's some truth you're going to act upon that's going to be like role reversal here. Whoever had you held down, well, they're going to have to kind of deal with the repercussions of their own actions. I do see you coming into alignment with the right people. You're going to kind of really learn who needs to be left behind in the past and who really truly has your back. So I do see affinity and friendship coming in here. And these connections are based on truth. I feel like the year opens up with you kind of getting into a place of alignment with your people, so to speak. You know who the honest people are. You know who the people are that you can count on. And this opens up early on in the year. I feel like before springtime, you know who your crew is, okay? And you got some allies coming in here that will be very lucky for your future. Okay, good energy there. So air signs, hang out with the butterfly clan. More air signs like you will be a positive thing for you. You kind of share the same view, and you'll be able to do, I feel like, a lot of networking, get a lot of positive momentum going with each other there. Okay. Let's check out, where did it go? There it is. Let me get the Arcane VS deck out here. Those other two decks I used were the Angel Tarot and the Occult Tarot, both by Travis McHenry. I always try to call out the decks because I know you all like that, right? 3303 on the clock, so I feel like that's a synchronicity number for you, 33. 333. All right, that's a sign of helpful influences around you. So whenever you see those combinations of numbers coming in, do tune into that. I do feel like things are about to get a little weird for you this year in the very best way. It looks like you got a little bit of rerouting going on here. You were on the road to destiny, but then you kind of got caught up maybe in a certain tempting circumstance, or somebody was sort of spinning a certain narrative around you that led you a little astray. But I do feel like you're right back on track, and you're going to be able to find your way back to where you belong here. Yeah, I feel like there was some new beginning that was cut off for you, and it was related to some kind of fear that was generated here, or some kind of ugliness that was generated here that made you feel a little bit confused about your direction. But I do see that getting back into alignment. This is a very potent year for you spiritually, in terms of your spiritual growth and your sense of connectivity on that level. Okay, now we're looking at the hand that you are going to play in 2025. We're going to have three separate piles here. We're going to look at your strengths, your empowerments, your level ups in 2025, Gemini. We're going to look at the magics you hold, or the magics you'll recover, or the magics that you will come into and wield in 2025. And then we're also going to look at what advantages you'll have working in your favor in 2025, right? And we're just going to do a simple cut of the deck into 3 piles, and I'll make sure you can see that in the frame there. All right, let's check it out. So this first pile I'm going to cut here is going to be for the advantages you'll have in 2025. All right. This middle pile here is going to represent your magics that you're wielding in 2025. And the first pile will be your strengths, your empowerments, and your level up. So let's look at that first. I think you are very determined to activate your destiny here. You've been through a lot of pain, and you're putting that pain to good use. You're not going to allow it to sort of like hold you back. In fact, you may have had some daggers thrown at you, but I feel it only strengthened your resolve. It's like you gained a certain level of resilience here. And we do have Aries energy here, so Aries could factor strongly in this, but this is also really speaking to me of the Aries North Node. I feel like all those swords that were used against you activated some truth within you that really made it clear to you what matters to you at the end of the day. And this has given you a real determination, a real resilience, and a certain empowerment. In fact, your truth is your power. And in terms of your truth, you're locked and loaded. And I don't feel like you're going to hold your truth back at all. You're living by your truth. And I do see you really defending your post here. You're like, no, nobody's going to take away my potential. Nobody is going to keep me held back from activating my destiny. So I do see you transforming a lot of pain into sort of like the making of you. This is really good energy. Like your North Node is on lock. You are transforming a lot of fate into destiny. And I see you really holding your own in that respect. This looks very, very good. And what do we got coming in here? Oh, we got the provider. Okay. So this may be in relation to, it could be somebody that you share a child with, or somebody who you've looked at as, you know, your other half, you know, somebody that you have been in partnership with. But I do feel like there's been something a little bit complicated between the two of you that has caused a certain love opportunity to be spoiled, or a certain healing opportunity to be spoiled. It looks like it's something in relation to sweeping too many things under the rug. So again, I feel like you having the determination here to really call stuff out, call it out for what it is, and you're unmasking somebody here. And in unmasking them, you're disarming them. Maybe there's a part of them that has felt really vulnerable in this situation, but they kind of come off like they got it under control and they're real tough. I think you understand the part of them that sort of feels a little young inside, or a little timid, you know, or too scared to sort of share where they're really at, what they're really feeling. I feel like this is you saying, no, you know, it's time to air it out. Let's go ahead and look at, you know, what's been swept under the rug here. Let's call out the elephant in the room. And it's time for us to get real here. It's okay. It's okay for us to be vulnerable. And I feel like this is a really positive energy for you. It's coming through as your strength and your empowerment here in 2025. This is with a key relationship. So no more masks. No more masks. And you may have gone through challenges with somebody. There might have been just like really young parts of this person acting up, acting out, or there could have been a problem in relation to a child. There may have even been a hidden child in the mix for some of you, like a love child in the mix. Whatever this is, there's some kind of revealing that's happening here. We're not sweeping things under the rug anymore. We're going to talk about it. We're going to air it out. And I feel like this is excellent because there's something about that that preserves a destiny that's meant to come into view. And it's not just for you, it's for both of you here. That stag energy coming through is really that north node, stone of destiny energy being activated. So I do feel like you're both meant to get there together, but there's somebody here who's really been maybe acting out of their trauma or acting out of a very immature place within themselves, and something's addressed here that gets you back on the same page. And I feel like you have a determination to see this through. So this is good. This is positive. It might get a little bumpy there as you're sort of ironing this out, but ultimately I do see you turning it around. All right, let's see what magics you hold. Oh, yes, you have the magic you need to claim a certain heart from somebody who's been a little bit testy, okay? We do have that wasp energy there. So this is somebody that may be a bit biting. They may use sharp words. But again, I think you've sort of seen through this character. It looks like you're dealing with a significant relationship here, 40-40 on the clock, okay? It's like you both have 20-20 vision now, you know? But you had to go through the experiences you went through. You had to feel that bite of love gone wrong before you could get it right. And I do feel like you see what really is the truth here. You know you got somebody's heart. And I think they know the same about you. So I do see you kind of like getting to a place of, you know, getting to the other side of that where you can kind of let down your guard. There might have been too much blockage around really sharing the vulnerability of the heart here, right? And I feel like you're learning how to turn that vulnerability into a strength. That's a special kind of magic for you. In fact, the more unguarded you can be, the more it's impossible for somebody to steal any of that power that's generated by your heart from you. And I do see you're going to be able to really like claim someone's heart here, right? You're going to steal their heart. They may want to keep it under lock and key, but I do feel like you're going to find a way through. Yes, okay. And where you did catch somebody slipping or somebody fell from grace in your eyes, or, you know, maybe you saw somebody acting out of their more lower nature. Maybe at one point too, you also felt a little bit of like tit for tat kind of energy, a little bit of that eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. There might have been some bad blood between you. I do feel like you have the ability to transform this energy and peace will reign. Okay, so you got that dove medicine coming in here. I also got dove's blood. You may want to work with dove's blood, right? You can get dove's blood ink that's really great for petitions, all right? So there's something about working with dove's blood in you know, calling in certain healing energy that you're wanting to experience, or calling in a certain sense of justice and balance that you want to see in your life. And no, it's not actually dove's blood, okay? It's just the name of it, all right? It's a red ink, all right? And you can get it from most like botanicas. But this is coming in here. It's coming in as an aid, something that can help balance something out where, you know, somebody got caught slipping. That's what I got, okay? Somebody got caught slipping. Might have been a little bit embarrassing at one point there. There might have been like a desire to like get even or something. I do feel like there's been some anger here. There's been some bad blood in this situation, but you can bring peace about working with that dove's blood medicine. All right. So do look into that. It's really great for petitions, you know, writing your petitions, getting a little candle vigil going there. You know, we all make mistakes. We're not perfect. So I do feel like this is something you're transforming here. You know, maybe you're also just willing to give somebody a pass too, instead of feeling the need to kind of get even here. But I do feel like there was a situation you dealt with where somebody sort of fell from grace in your eyes. Yeah. And there was some harshness that was exchanged here, but I do see you turning this situation around, right? And in some cases, you were dealing with somebody that they might have been doing some spiritual work. They might have been, you know, a little heated when they were doing some spiritual work, and that backfired, you know. I think the way to resolve that and balance out any workings, whether they were done by someone else, you know, towards you, or if you were working on that level, maybe just because you felt really heated about catching someone in the act of something, that there's a lot coming through about feeling disrespected or feeling dishonored or feeling like your dignity was stripped from you. So if that's still kind of holding over you, or this is something that comes up for you, dove's blood is the remedy. I got that. Okay. Dove's blood. And I got specifically working with it with petitions and candle vigils will be helpful for remedying that situation, just to bring about a sense of balance again. Because somebody slipped here. And I'm bringing in eggs. It's really sticking with this. And we are looking at magic at this point. Okay. So it's factoring in strongly. There may have been somebody here who did some kind of working that they really shouldn't have done. Like when they were doing that spiritual work, they were coming from a place of anger. They were coming from a place of wanting to get even. They wanted that person to feel just as disrespected as they felt. There needs to be a resolution of that. Okay. This is something that can kind of open the road, free you up. I think this is a case, whatever this is, there's like a mirroring energy here. Both people slipped up. Okay. In one way, shape, or form. All right. Peace is the solution here. And there is that theme that kind of opened up for you about forgiveness. So I do feel like this is the year where you really settle a score. Grudge energy is settled. And that's a special kind of magic that will bring a lot of harmony to your life on many other levels. All right, let's check out your advantages. Okay, I like this. So one of the advantages you're going to have is where you felt like you were kind of like just getting by, and maybe you were more like, you know, on the sidelines in a certain arena. I feel like you're going to be like the apex predator. You know, you're going to be the big fish. You're not going to be a little fish here. And I do feel like you're really going to be in a position where you're going to be eating good. You're going to be well off here. Some of you are involved in some kind of creative enterprise, a creative field. Some of you may be doing some kind of work in the music scene. I do feel like you'll be really successful here. There's also something about a trio, okay? So you might be working with, you know, two other people here, maybe even, you know, a band coming together, something like this. Whatever this enterprise is, I do feel like it's advantageous, and there will be a lot of growth here. It'll make you kind of like at the top of your game. So this is a really positive energy coming in. If it's not musically connected or some kind of creative field, I do feel you'll have a reason to sort of like toot your own horn here, you know. You'll be eating well. You'll be well provided for. I feel like there's still something about that 3 energy. It is a synchronicity for you. So I do feel like this is some other people you're coming into alignment with, a couple other people here. There's a lot of growth here. Whatever it is, it puts you in a good position. It levels you up. So this is very positive. It would be advantageous for you to partner with these people, right? You'll know what this is about, okay? And I think that there is maybe another in this, you know, sort of scenario that you'll need to cut off, okay? Somebody who's a bit of a weasel, they're not on the up and up here. And whoever this character is, they keep kind of cutting off these sort of fertile beginnings that want to come in for you. It's like just as something starts to feel like it's progressing or moving forward, all of a sudden it just falls flat. This is about you taking the power back in your hands from a particular weasel here. This is somebody, again, it could be that Queen of Pentacles energy that came in earlier. This is somebody who likes to get access to other people's secret information, and then she likes to use it to her advantage. It could be a he too that's operating out of the more like kind of catty feminine. But with that Queen of Pentacles energy, this is somebody who's like, they're very active on the social scene. They know a lot of people, and they're very chatty. They're very chatty, and they get access to a lot of people's secret information. and then they use it for their own personal gain here. And this is somebody that's been the source of cutting off a lot of your sort of power moves here. So you sussing this person out and you cutting things off with them will put the power back in your hands and definitely be a big advantage for you in 2025, Gemini. All right, it's looking pretty good so far, I have to say. Now we're going to look at the more mundane stuff. We're going to look at your health, your wealth, love, and some spiritual guidance for you in 2025. So let's start out with health here. What is coming in for Gemini's health in 2025, Spirit? What's coming in for Gemini's health in 2025, Spirit? What is coming in for Gemini's health in 2025, Spirit? Right. Well, it was interesting because I was going to say health, but I wanted to say wealth. So I do feel like finances have been a bit of a concern. Maybe there's been a little decline in the finances. Could also be that somebody dealt with some medical issues, some health problems that, held them back a little bit just in terms of their work. I do feel like there's two here that have been challenged by this. So this has been something that's been a bit of a stress. I feel like it's something related to some kind of like time off that was needed to recover from something, or somebody in the family was ill, or there's been some kind of injury or something along these lines that really just kind of prevented some kind of financial growth here. All right, so let's get some more details about this. I also feel like a lot of challenges related to health are stress related as a result of dealing with some financial problems, some financial issues. And I got big medical expenses coming up there, okay? I am picking up basis of the matter energy around that. So I do feel like this is a little bit of a carryover energy. You may still be paying off some medical expenses. You may be waiting on some money to come in from like a personal injury case, something like this. This could be in relation to a Sagittarius, all right? Doesn't have to be, but this is Sagittarius's card, and they've come up quite a bit for you. This is balancing something out, though. So I do feel like it's just a matter of timing here, right? Things will balance out. I also feel like there's a need for you to get your balance as well, okay? Just slow down a little bit, take time to heal. Don't rush. If you've been dealing with an injury or some kind of health problem that's held you back from really generating, the income you need to see because you've had to take some time off work, don't try to rush it, okay? Because that will ultimately hold you back more. I feel like there needs to be more moderation when it comes to your health, a more balanced approach. You can't just push yourself so hard all the time. There's a need for you to sort of like take time off to rest, to restore, to relax. And there could be some recovery process going on here too. There could be somebody that's in recovery. There's somebody that's needing to recover, bounce back from maybe an addiction, or I got like maybe alcohol. Okay, maybe partying too hard here, right? There's a need to find a sense of balance. So this is something that's going to take time, but I do feel like where there have been health issues in time, this will balance out. But it's something that kind of takes some patience. You may be going through a healing process that's frustrating for you. I feel like it's frustrating because of how it's being sort of a wrench in the works in terms of financial growth here, or the cost that's involved. It's creating stress. But the more that you can stay in this sort of like relaxed space and just really take the time to heal here, the better off you're going to be. You'll be grateful for having this time of rest. I do feel like things will light up for you in the future. You'll be back at it. I do see this turning around. This is a positive energy here. Or if you've been really worried about somebody who's been struggling with a health issue, I feel like there's something that's going to turn around here with Temperance. And we got the Queen of Wands here. So this is very positive energy. So yeah, I do see like the vitality returning. I do see the energy coming back. I do feel like you're going to be in a process of balancing things out too. Some of you are looking to like get in shape. You want to drop some pounds. You want to maybe get back to the gym. You just want to feel like your old self, you know? There might be some of you that dealt with a little bit of a blow to the self-esteem, maybe because of feeling like you got kind of like left behind, you know, left behind in a romantic relationship. You might have taken on a false belief that that had something to do with your physical appearance. And so you're really wanting to have that kind of like glow up energy, or some of you are like, I want my revenge body, you know. I do see you getting a lot more active about balancing things out. I'm also picking up the piece that you may have been a little too gung-ho with that in the past. Like you went to work out, but you really like you exercised too hard. You didn't balance it out with enough rest. And then ultimately, maybe that led to an injury. Okay. Then it sidelines you. And when you're sidelined, then, you know, you lose all that progress that you had while you were training or while you were watching what you were eating, you know, and when you're sidelined, then you feel bummed out. And you know, so then you're kind of like noshing on food or maybe throwing back some drinks or something to kind of cope with that. So I do feel like there's a need for moderation here. This is the year of moderation, okay? Don't try to be so all or nothing. I feel like that'll work against you in terms of your health. Make small changes, sustainable changes, and just take it one step at a time. And you'll find that little changes lead to big results. And don't try to just change it all overnight. There's something here about really take your time with it, develop new habits, and don't be so all or nothing with it. Like if you're trying to drop some weight, don't cut off all the foods you love, you know, don't get too restrictive with it. Make sure you allow some room, you know, in your diet so you can enjoy, you know, going out to eat with your friends, or you can have ice cream now and then. It's only when you really restrict these things that you'll find you go overboard with it, right? So yes, balance it out. It may take a little longer, or so it seems, to reach your goals, but really that's an illusion. Because usually when people go overboard trying to transform their health overnight, or they try to push their recovery from an injury too fast because they just want to get back at it, you end up backsliding as a result. And so it actually takes longer to get to your goal rather than just kind of going slow and steady, being moderate, you know, making healthy changes, changing one thing at a time, and just letting it develop more naturally. Okay. That's what I'm really picking up here for you in terms of your health. The more that you can balance your schedule, the more that you can balance your diet, the more that there can be a balance between work and play. And it's all about creating that healthy sense of balance where you're not so all or nothing, you know, you're able to find the middle way. That's what will really get you into a place where your energy comes back. I do feel like you're going to be looking really good, especially by the summertime. It's going to be like this moment where your fire really comes forward. And I think people will be seeing the difference in you too. There's a lot of recognition for this sort of like makeover kind of, it's got like makeover, shape over energy, I have to tell you. Yeah. Yeah, you might get some attention as a result of that, maybe from a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, all right? They might really recognize that, wow, like you've really transformed. I think it'll be like a little kind of a moment of healthy pride for you, okay? This energy coming in. All right, what does wealth look like? What do the finances look like for Gemini in 2025, Spirit? What does the wealth, the finances look like, the work life look like for Gemini in 2025, Spirit? Give us a view of how things are going to be financially. On the job for Gemini in 2025, what are their prospects? Again, it's a matter of timing. Like this is coming through right out the gate, okay? There is something that needs to be balanced out first, I feel. So there might be a little bit of a delay in finances. It may take a little time to see progress with something here. Ooh, but then all of a sudden it all comes rushing forward. What do we got here? Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be something to celebrate here where you feel like you've been held back or you haven't been getting the traction you want. You haven't been getting the recognition you want. I do feel like that will shift. And again, it might be on the other side of healing something or getting to the other side of something that's been a bit of an impediment to your finances. But I do see you rushing forward, and there is a moment of celebration here, okay? Some of you will be celebrating a big level up. This could be like a promotion or some kind of opportunity that sort of puts you ahead of the competition in your field, all right? It somehow makes you stand out. So there's some rapid progress that comes in here. And again, we've got a lot of energy connected to this. All right, we do have a King of Wands in reverse. So yeah, you could have been dealing with somebody who was extremely competitive. All right. They might have been a bit at odds with you and it was causing some hindrance on your path. Like this is somebody that just wanted to be top dog. I got this energy. It's coming through as fire sign energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This could have been somebody really bossy, egocentric, you know, really demanding. And I feel like they weren't playing fair here, all right? But I do feel like wherever that was a challenge, you're getting beyond it and you will be moving forward. You'll like how this situation turns out. We got King of Cups energy here. So I do know you're going to experience a sense of fulfillment. And there's good news coming in relation to your career. I think something that's really going to like get you feeling like, yeah, now that's more like it, okay? I feel like you're really in your element with this. It could be coming in from a water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It puts the power in your hands with the Magician here. And in fact, I see you got like all aces on the table here. So where you felt really held back financially and in your career, there's some position you're being put in here that's very much like right up your alley. It's doing work that you're really invested in. It feels good to be in this position. There's some kind of news coming in here about an opportunity that's going to make your heart real happy. I do see you taking this opportunity, and it's the thing that totally transforms your financial situation, also your whole career here. You may be starting something independently here. You're putting a dream in motion. Maybe you're tired of working with people who are difficult or intractable, or you could have been dealing with a higher up that was just like making your life miserable here. This might be why you're kind of like striking out on your own. Or it could be that there is somebody that's been keeping an eye on you. They notice the work you've been doing and they're going to reach out to you and put an offer on the table. Go for it. It'll put you in a powerful position here. I think you'll like how it turns out. All right. And with that, look at, yeah, we have that Queen of Pentacles here. Do you see? Isn't that interesting? She's come out multiple times here. So I do feel like you were dealing with somebody that may have been a competitor, that may have been causing some problems. This is somebody who felt like they were in a more powerful position, and this was very compromising for two individuals. So I do feel like you're freeing yourself from a compromising situation here. And that's the thing that puts you, you know, in that empowered position where you're going to have something to celebrate here. So yeah, it looks like a competitor energy that was difficult. Somebody was causing problems on the work front for you, or just causing financial holdups here. Again, it could be somebody with strong fire and earth in their chart, strong Taurus energy. All right. We also had Leo come out pretty significantly. All the fire signs, Sagittarius came out quite significantly too. I do feel like you're overcoming this opposition though. You are changing things up here. You're starting to recognize what's been holding up your financial growth, what's been blocking you. And you're moving forward on your own terms here. There may be some kind of creative idea you have, right? And there may be somebody who also shares this vision with you, and they're going to reach out to you. There's some kind of opportunity that comes in here for you. It's earmarked just for you. And I do see you moving forward quite quickly, but it's because you're freeing yourself from some controlling element here. Somebody who's really competitive, that was in a position of power, and they held that position of power over other people. Not the best energy. All right. Yeah, there was a tower that was created because of this individual. All right. But I feel like this is when you turn that energy around and you have a breakthrough moment here in 2025 that helps you recover from that. But it does involve you sort of cutting off this interfering element. All right. Looks good once you do that. There's something here that really transforms the finances, and you finally feel like you're in the position you want to be here. You're in your element. You got the power back in your hands. And there's a lot of other beginnings that will come in your life as a result of this. It affords you a lot more opportunities that weren't even possibilities before, I feel. Okay. Good energy. Once you get this character out of the way, man, let's see what is coming in terms of your love life. This could have even been, I just got this. There could have been somebody that a partner of yours was working with that was problematic, okay, that caused some kind of disruption, maybe even disruption in the home for you. That might kind of highlight who you need to cut out here, who you need to be aware of here. They will continue to try to be problematic this year. So it's really about you putting down some boundary lines. Once you do that, I feel like everything sort of transforms for you. The energy looks really good. All right, what's coming in for Gemini in terms of love in 2025? What is coming in for Gemini in their love life in 2025? What is coming in for Gemini in their love life in 2025? What is coming in for Gemini in their love life 2025? Ooh, well, I feel like, this is your energy. I feel like you already kind of like got your eyes set on someone. There's someone you're interested in. You're sort of like scoping out the situation. You're wondering when you should make your move, or potentially you have somebody that's keeping their eye on you here. They're preparing to approach you. I don't feel like this person is like made themselves known just yet. If you're in a committed relationship, do be aware that there might be somebody who's like keeping too much of an eye on your relationship. Somebody who's wanting to sort of like employ some kind of strategy here. All right. That message has been coming in a little bit. This could be somebody interacting online. Okay. Sliding into DMs. So just be aware of that. Okay. For those of you who are single, I do feel like either you got your eyes on somebody, maybe somebody you got your eyes on online. You're trying to work up the nerve to approach them. You're trying to put some strategy in play. Or if you're totally like clueless about that, this is somebody who's interested in you. And they're keeping an eye on you and preparing to approach you. Let's get some more details there. What's coming out with a lot of air sign energy around it, which is why I'm putting you in the mix there. But let's get some more details. We'll see. Okay. Let's see here. What's coming in the area of love? Yeah, I mean, again, we got the 5 of Pentacles here. So I do feel like there was some kind of loss that was created through interference from somebody who was keeping too much of an eye on what was going on in your relationship. That does not feel appropriate to me. And it very well could have been the result of some kind of online activity, okay? Yeah. Somebody's just a little too up in your business on that level. You do need to be aware of this because this person's kind of looking to create some sense of loss here. Yeah, there was a disappointment that was caused here. I think you're still sort of looking at that situation and how you can turn that around. I do feel like there is somebody that's interested in you here, you know. They want to offer you a little love, a little affection. Maybe they've seen that you went through something rough, you know. They've been keeping their eye on you. Maybe that's why they've been holding back from approaching you, because they know that you're sort of in a process of working through some stuff here. I mean, it could be gratifying with the 9 of Cups here. But I think one thing that's really important here, Gemini, that's kind of coming through is that you kind of need to really look at fulfilling yourself first. I feel like you've been giving out a lot of your energy to others because you got like a big heart here, but it's been leaving you really drained. You know what I mean? It's like there hasn't been like a real give and take in the romantic arena here. And so I think this is a little bit about, you know, you really think about what would satisfy you, because I think you've been dealing with somebody who maybe like wanted to have their cake and eat it too. And then you felt like you were just sort of like cast aside or ignored here. I do feel like there is like some opportunity for love coming in here for you, but you're not really aware of it right now because I feel like you're still trying to heal over a past disappointment. It looks like it was caused by some kind of selfishness. Somebody who only thought about what they wanted and they didn't think about the way that it would affect you or your relationship, okay? Let me get some more details here. What's coming in? What's coming in for love? I mean, I do feel like you're really working on healing right now. You're really focusing on yourself. I mean, I do think this is healthy. I think it's important, especially if you've been dealing with a challenging relationship situation. Even if you're in a committed relationship, you know, you may have felt like perhaps you have, you know, a partner who's too focused on work and you feel like they don't pour any energy into the relationship, okay? There's been something here that's been a disappointment. And when we're looking at like third party situations, that can even be like somebody's too fixated on, you know, getting the bag. Somebody's got, you know, something else that's capturing their attention. I feel like there is a little bit of a selfish energy here, but it seems like, you know, the guidance coming through from spirit is it's time for you to really pour into yourself and consider what makes you happy. I do feel like you're investing a lot in yourself, your health, your healing here, mind, body, spirit. There's a lot of personal growth coming in for you in 2025. If you're recovering from a breakup, I do feel like you're going to reach this place where you're really going to feel very fulfilled in and of yourself. I know that there's somebody that's interested in you. Could be an emperor here. Okay, this is some good energy. This is good energy, this emperor energy, okay? There is some big boss energy on the scene, like somebody who's really ready to show up here. They could be in Aries. This is also that North Node energy. So I do feel like there's wish fulfillment coming through in the arena of love for you on the other side of some healing that you're going through right now. Let me get some more details about this. I mean, I do feel like there's something that's going to turn around here for you. There's a feeling like, you know, you kind of got sidelined or somebody made their own like personal gratification have more priority over really nurturing the relationship here. That could have been dealing with an Aries, you know, maybe somebody was just more focused on getting ahead, you know, their own personal advancement here, or that kind of like emperor archetype energy, okay? But I do feel like there's something coming in here for you that is going to be very gratifying, right? but it really does involve you pouring into yourself. I'm feeling a lot of independent energy coming through for you. Even if you're in a relationship, it's really time to focus a little bit more on yourself and your own desires here. There is something that works out here. I have to say, there's mutual appreciation. There's somebody you're coming into alignment with here. All right. And yes, there is also an invitation that's coming through here with the Page of Wands, right? It might start out small. This could even be somebody that you're healing with, I have to say. All right. They could be a fire sign energy. Aries came out pretty strong. Sagittarius came out strong. We had Leo come out too. It could be any fire sign energy. They may be inviting you to like some kind of event, all right, as just like sort of like an icebreaker, like, hey, you know, I know it's been a while since we went out and did something. This could even be like your partner, if you're in a committed relationship, recognizing that they need to make a little effort here, you know. They might decide to make a little more effort when they see you pouring more into yourself, right? They see you looking good. They see you're back in a place where you're, you know, you're feeling yourself, and they're like, oh, I better step up to the plate before I lose a good thing, all right? Whatever this is, I know that there's somebody that's got their eye on you, okay? And they're going to give you an invitation to like go out, do something, have some fun. I do feel like there's a sense of celebration here in 2025. Some of you may go from being single to actually meeting somebody that will end up being a serious contender here. You know, you might end up, you know, living together. You might end up tying the knot, some of you, okay? I mean, I do see that. It can be a wedding kind of energy here. Your single life may end in 2025. I feel like if you've been single, this is a case where this is somebody coming in. It starts out as them inviting you to some event. You may even meet this person at a wedding, at a friend's wedding or something. It starts out small, but over time, I think it grows into something more serious, something more committed. And if you're in a committed relationship, I feel like this is somebody finally recognizing that, you know, I need to give a little bit more to this. I feel like there's a new sense of mutual appreciation coming through here. If things have felt off at home, I do feel like you're going to balance that out. It does take some time though. And what I really see is required here, Gemini, is that you pour into yourself. Like you kind of have to put yourself first. Because I feel like you've been giving too much and the other's been just kind of like expecting you to carry the weight of the relationship. For those of you in a committed relationship. But there is an ability to turn this energy around. And I think whoever has not been contributing enough, for those of you in committed relationships, they're going to see your value and they're going to recognize that they need to like step up, man, but they're not going to recognize it until you step up for yourself. Okay. But do look for this, you know, do look for this. All right. I think whatever it is, you'll feel very gratified. It's like wish fulfillment for you. Okay. Let me do a cut of the deck there. Let's see what we got. Yeah. I mean, there is this sense here of you feeling like, I don't know if I can trust this character though. All right. So be mindful about this. If you've been dealing with somebody that you feel like they're a serial cheater, or they're constantly lying to you, or you feel like you're in some kind of unhealthy dynamic here, if it feels codependent, you know, you may choose to say no to this person, you know. And others of you may decide to try to work on it. You know, you might go for another round with somebody that you were involved with in the past and see if you can work it out. If that's the case and you're dealing with somebody who's been like a serial cheater and they're coming back around and they like, you know, we can make it work. We can turn this around, you know, and they're selling you the story. I mean, I got to be real with you. I feel like it will turn out the same. So You know, it might be better off in cases where somebody's coming back around that's been repeatedly problematic in the past. Just call it good, you know? Heal the rift between you all, you know, find peace with each other. But there's a lot about really being in your independent energy here. What's on the other side here? Yeah, they've got that. What's here? What's on the top of the deck here? I mean, we got Emperor energy. I do feel like there's an Emperor on offer here. There is. There is. But what I would say is if you're dealing with somebody who is like a repeat cheater, or they're constantly lying, they're constantly disappointing, and you've already tried to work on this multiple times, if you decide to give something another go, if they're not, you know, all in, you really just kind of have to ditch it, I say, because there is somebody here that will show up with that Emperor energy. And you could really, you know, keep yourself from finding that true, like fulfilling love connection by continuing to try to work something out with somebody who just expects you to hold up the whole relationship. Let me get some more details here. Tell me about this Emperor. I need a little more details about this Emperor. Tell me about this Emperor for Gemini here. Tell me about this Emperor. Is this somebody coming in? Is this somebody who's going to level up? Yeah, look at this. This is good energy. This is good energy. This is balance here. Look at that. This is South Node Libra energy with Emperor North Node energy here. So there is a true connection coming in here for you that will be balanced. But I feel like there might be somebody that disrespected you in the past that might make another attempt. This is somebody's like, they're non-committal. They always disappoint. They could be a Capricorn potentially. You had a lot of Earth sign energy come through. Let me see what this is here with this Devil. I want to get very clear for you. So for those of you already in a serious committed relationship, I do feel like you'll be able to balance things out. There could be a Libra connected to this or an Aries connected to this. For those of you that are single, if you have a repeat, you're like serial cheater, you know, somebody who's been really unhealthy connection, looks like it's been a bit codependent, you know, somebody just made you feel like you were doing all the work in the relationship. They may come back around wanting to work things out with you. You might want to hold up on that. Let me just see. Let me see how that turns out. I don't have the best vibe around this character. Let's see how this turns out. If they give this person another chance, how's it go? No, you'll end up in the same place where you'll be confused. You'll feel like you're at the crossroads. You're not sure what you need to do. And then you're fighting off all of their like groupie energy here, man. No, this character, you should just kind of like say, nah, I'm good. Okay. So that's the distinction here. All right. Those of you already in a really serious relationship where there is an even give and take, where maybe somebody's just been busy, or, you know, maybe there was a real challenge in the relationship, but they're showing up and they're really in it with you. I do feel like there is a way to turn this around. Okay. Those of you that are single, if you got some cheating ex who's got like a whole like entourage of groupies that come in tow with them that you've dealt with before, and it was a really codependent dynamic, they come back around, they tell you, oh, we can work through this. It's going to be a repeat. You'd be better off saving yourself the trouble and holding out and continuing to invest in yourself, because I do feel like there's somebody here that will come in that will bring you justice, and they are your destiny, and they'll bring you fulfillment. All right. Yeah, this other person, heartache. It'll just be the same old story again, all right? So something to be mindful of there, Gemini, all right? You deserve to have things balanced out for you. Don't put yourself through hell. for some pie crust promises because they're made to be broken. Let's get spiritual guidance for Gemini in 2025. Spiritual guidance for Gemini in 2025. Some spiritual guidance for Gemini in 2025. Spirit. Spiritual guidance for Gemini in 2025. Okay, so there is the piece here about letting yourself rest more. Really acknowledging that you already know the truth in a situation. And so not putting yourself into this place of sort of like questioning yourself, questioning your decisions, and putting yourself back into that cycle where you're just reactivating all of the pain that you already went through. You don't need to question it. There's a certain truth that you already know here. And there's something about really trusting that what you're separated from right now is because you're being protected from further pain here. And once you really allow yourself to accept the truth of a situation and give yourself the opportunity to rest and just let go, give something a rest, that's when you're going to find things balancing out for you. Okay, so don't doubt the truth that you're already well aware of. Don't talk yourself into believing that, you know, you don't got it right, or maybe, you know, there's something you're not seeing clearly here, right? You really need to rest on a certain truth, right? It may be a difficult truth to swallow. It may be a painful truth in some cases. But the more that you just allow yourself to rest in that place and trust that even if you've been dealing with something difficult, there is something on the other side, the more that you allow things to kind of like balance out for you here. See? Look, bottom of the deck energy. It really is about you pouring into yourself right now. Let yourself come into a really strong position. I see a lot of growth for you, a lot of spiritual growth for you, a lot of personal growth for you. I feel like you're supposed to come into alignment within yourself right now and really build yourself back up, because there's something here that rocked you, man. And it's okay. Like, we've all been through that experience where we went through something that really made us like just feel like we weren't appreciated, we weren't valued. And it takes time to bounce back from something like that. But I see this just looking so good on you, man. Growth looks so good on you. And you're really going to be in this place where whatever went down back there is going to be like night and day. And it's all being taken care of for you. See, you're reflecting on something. It's come out twice now. You had the Four of Cups, right? And I know there's love. Like, there's love coming in here for you. But you can't see it, because you're still reflecting on what was disappointing for you. And I do feel like it was disappointing because of some kind of third party interference here. And third party can be like another lover, yes, but it can also be a meddling family member or meddling friend, or somebody just was too focused on something outside of the relationship that just left you feeling like none of your personal desires were being fulfilled in the connection. This could even be somebody had an addiction. But if you turn around and you stop looking back at what was spilt back there, there is some kind of beautiful alignment coming in here for you. And we know whatever this is, it's your justice. So what's crossing here? Yeah, you just got to give it a little time, okay? A little time. Those arrows of love will fly again. And where you've been feeling held back too, because there is this sense too, like just feeling this little bit of a sense of restriction, or my plans aren't moving ahead the way I want them to. I feel like I'm being sort of reined in, or I'm not seeing the kind of growth I want to see. If you just give it a little time and you change your orientation from looking at the disappointments and instead allow yourself to just boldly face the future and allow yourself to dream a little bit. Like, what do you desire? You've been focusing on something that involves another here. And it's sort of like, what do you desire? Make it about you. Once you do that, give it a couple months. All right. By the time spring hits, a lot of movement forward, a lot of progress. I see a lot of travel. I see you meeting people. I see a lot of communication going back and forth. And I see the arrows of love. Okay. So something turns around here, but you have to give it a chance to, because as long as you're still reflecting on the disappointment and you don't sort of change your orientation to the possibility of what's ahead of you in the future and investing in yourself, the more you sort of like keep this at bay from you, right? Let me do a cut of the deck here. Ooh, this kind of wanted to, yeah, look, we got work and we got the devil here. So this is good in this case when we got the work coming in with the devil, because this is worldly advancement. So I feel like there's a lot of financial growth for you coming in terms of your work. I do feel like part of the work that needs to be done is freeing yourself from what has held you back through being tethered to another that won't allow you to really step into your power. All right. And certainly this can be like a work situation where you haven't been able to advance because there's just no room for growth there, or it doesn't light you up. It doesn't excite you. It doesn't interest you. Right. There's also this piece about stop trying to work on something where you're the only one who's working on it, you know, because that's not going to get you where you need to go. And again, it comes out again, 9 of Pentacles. Invest in yourself. And then when the timing's right, you'll move forward. But if you continue to invest in a situation that just keeps ripping you off, wasting your time, somebody's really dishonest here, I have to say, it's coming out. King of Pentacles energy. So again, Taurus energy. There's a lot of disappointment here. It could be Capricorn too. All right. Or somebody's just too focused on that. They're too focused on money and status and like material advancement. The more you kind of like hitch yourself to this, the more you're robbing yourself of what wants to come in for you. Choose growth, okay? Choose personal growth. Choose what's healthy for you, and then the proper alignment comes about. You get the wish fulfillment you desire, right? Big clue for you for 2025. It's time to put yourself first, Gemini. You do, and you come up all aces.